This is going to be one of the most process and step intensive repairs or stock restorations that I've ever done on this channel. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill. This is SixRounds Studio. Today, and over the next several weeks, we're going to be working on this very old, oldish, Mossberg 185K. This is one of their inexpensive, back in the day, bolt action shotguns. This was a 20 gauge and they made them in all different gauges. And I got this from a client who contacted me and asked me if I could do some repair and restoration work on this stock. And I asked him to send it to me, and when he sent it, I would look at it and then kind of judge whether or not this was something I wanted to tackle. Well, this is going to be some work. So let me go over some of the things that we need to do to make this a viable gun stock for that shotgun again. What starts out and is the most obvious is somewhere in this gun's history, this gun stock got split from here to here. And you can see the split goes all the way up into here, comes all the way down through center, all the way back up into here and out through the rear tang. And it's been repaired. I don't know how it was repaired. I don't know what materials the person who repaired it used. I don't know if they used wood glue or if they used epoxy or what materials were used. Whoever did the repairs did is they put two massive screws through this part of the web between the box magazine opening and the trigger opening. And those screws, I think, were designed to keep the thing closed up with fear that the glue may not hold, I guess. So that's the first thing that I need to do, is I need to get those screws replaced. And like I said, they're already there. I might as well use them. There is some mismatch in the two halves when they brought them together. There's a step in there. I'm not going to worry about this. The guy who owns the shotgun says it worked just fine. So I'm not going to mess with something that is working. Once I got those screws in, the next thing I need to do is I am going to have to mill away this material, because I want to put a thin applique over the top of it so that I can hide those screws. When the person who did this repair, they put some soft wood putty in over the screws, and I can go in there, and I actually got this screw here exposed by simply digging out that soft wood putty. So I'll pull these screws out, and I'll probably countersink the screws a little bit deeper. Then I'm going to mill away some material from here to here, and it'll be on some sort of a taper. Because one of the problems is when they did these repairs, and I'm not sure if it's a problem from the repair or if it's just the relatively lesser quality that Mossberg put into these guns. Right now, the value on these things are somewhere between $75 and $250. So they're not a hugely expensive gun on the collector market. But like a lot of the repairs that I do, these guns have meaning to the family, so they're willing to go through the process of getting these things fixed and repaired. You can't get one of these. They're not available. You may be able to find one on the used market somewhere, but they're just tough to come by. I guess I haven't looked for one the client did. The client spent a lot of time researching and trying to find replacement stocks. And again, this is a 20 gauge. He even went to Fajan Gunstock to see if Fajan would make one for him. So he would send this in, and Fajan would use a duplicarver or duplicator and remake this. But they quoted him a really outrageous price to do this. And frankly, I'm probably going to be able to repair this somewhat less than Fajan to do the whole stock from scratch. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. So we are going to pull those screws and get some brass screws of the same size, countersink them, put the applique over the top of that so those screws disappear. That'll let me reshape these contours here. And this side over here is sort of washed out. And like I said, I'm not sure if that's just the quality of the work coming out of Mossberg at that time in their sanding department. But this is all rolled over, and it's not very crisp. And it may be because this is where part of that repair is. And the same thing, I may have to try and see if I can't dig some of that out. I don't know. There is a huge swath of wood missing here. So I'm going to have to replace that as well. The box mag. The box mag has a huge chunk of wood that's missing here. I am going to mill that away and piece in a replacement piece of wood there to make that box mag nice and square. Then I have to replace or fix this radius, because this radius also has a huge chunk of wood missing from it. So we're going to do that. Let's see if this is wood putty or... Yep, that's all wood putty. So all of that is wood putty, just like they had in the screws. So I will probably, I don't know this for a fact just yet, probably replace it with some epoxy. I'll take that out, fill it in with some epoxy, depending on how big that is, and then faux paint it out so that it looks like it never happened. Then the client would like me to steam out all the dents, strip this and refinish it, and somehow try to duplicate this color. I will do the best that I can, but we'll see how that happens. I don't know. This got beat on really hard. This will be an ongoing project. I told the client that I was going to fit this in with some other work that I'm working on, and that it had a lower priority. If you've been watching the videos, if you've been watching the channel, you know that I started this Stevens favorite 1915, or model 1915. I got to get back onto that as well. So we're going to kind of squeeze these two in at the same time. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at these screws and see how much I'm going to have to play with those. So I've already taken one of these screws out just to see what I was facing. And it is a massive screw. Way overkill for size for what it needed to be. Oh, that's interesting. This is a machine screw. This is a machine screw. Interesting. And there is no nut on the other side of that. Interesting. Let's dig away this next patch. And as I was telling you, it is nothing more than soft wood putty. I do not see any screw in this one at all. No, it's just that one screw. I'm going to have to do something different because I don't need anything the size of a machine screw in there. And it goes all the way through. Unless there's a nut that I'm missing. Because without a wood thread or without a nut, this really is not doing much of anything to compress it or keep it together. Alright, well, you and I just learned something from this one. Let's try all this stuff here. Same thing, you can see this wood putty is just chipping its way out here. Well, I don't know what happened to this thing, but it really, oh, there we go. There we go. So it will come apart. Good. Good. Oh yeah. We're going to be able to do a really much better repair knowing that I can get this apart. Oh yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, 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 yes. There's multiple splits in this. So there is this split here, and there's another split down inside the inletting, the trigger guard. There's a huge split all the way through into here. I don't know if it shows up on the camera or not. So the crack does go up into the barrel channel a little bit. And I think probably what I'll do is just squeeze some epoxy down inside of that and let it, I'll probably thin the epoxy down so that it's a little more, a little thinner so that it'll flow a little bit better. Alright, if you've watched enough of my gunstock repair videos, you know that we need to clean those joints out really well before we start adding the epoxy in. And I always use acetone. Acetone is a great, it's a great oil cutter, and it helps prepare the wood fibers so that if we get enough of the residual oil from years of use, from oiling the stock, anything that gets the dirt and the oil in there. If we use the acetone and use it for several days, then we're able to leach out a lot of those oils. So we're going to start with this. We're going to start leaching these oils out. Let's go ahead and start cleaning out these cracks. And we will use a judicious amount of acetone. All right, we're gonna let this work for a couple hours, then we'll come back and we'll do it some more. And we'll do this, like I said, over the next few days to try and get as much of that oil out as we can. I hope you guys had a great Christmas and New Year's celebration, if you celebrate. And I want to welcome you to the new season, 2025, of SixRounds Studio. Same thing, we got a lot of great projects coming up. We've got this one, we'll continue to work on that. There'll be multiple sections, multiple videos on this Mossberg. As I was saying in the intro, we've got a lot of moving parts on this, a lot of things that we need to go in to fix, and I'm actually really happy that we were able to split this wood, that whatever they used to glue it together was not very strong, so that's good. We can do a really good repair on this. Also, we're going to go back to the Stevens favorite, the model 1915. Got a couple other guns in the wings that I want to be working on. Guys, if you enjoy this channel and if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Fun stuff coming. I love you. I'm glad you're here, and I will see you in the next video coming up. Bye, guys.